Levels of worst deaths ever.
These
Come
are
on.
the deaths that offer one small mercy: speed. The
I'd agree with
NASCAR
this.
legend.
Level 1 is definitely sudden because if you don't feel it, then I'd say it's probably a good way to go out.
On February 18th, 2001.
Okay, so they're not including like just dying of natural cause, which kind of makes sense. Because that would be level 1 if that was a thing, or I guess that would just be level 0. It's
The
not really a
Daytona
level.
500 was coming to its final lap. The race was the biggest event in NASCAR, and the man in the black number 3 Chevrolet was its most famous driver. The legendary racer was known as the Intimidator for his aggressive style. Fans expected him to finish strong, as he had so many times before.
Yeah, we would not be watching 1977 South Africa on stream. That would get me banned in a heartbeat, bro.
As the pack of cars rushed toward the final turn, his Chevrolet made contact with another vehicle. He lost control and slammed head-on into the concrete wall at nearly 155 miles per hour. The impact was sudden and violent. At first, it did not look like a fatal crash. The car wasn't torn apart, and there was no fire. From the stands, many thought he would climb out as he had so many times before. But inside the cockpit, the situation was very different. The collision caused what doctors later called a basal skull fracture, a break at the base of the skull where it connects to the spine. It is one of the most severe injuries in racing. Medical experts explain.
Do they not have like in F1 they have that neck brace because of the G-force? It like stops the neck moving because if they turned it without that, the neck would just snap. Did they not have it on there? Bro, I don't want to giggle it. I don't know what's gonna come up.
That the injury is not always instantly fatal. For a few seconds, the driver.
Yeah, NASCAR is very irrelevant. It's quite a boring thing.
Feeling intense pain.
The only relevancy that NASCAR has is well, I don't know. Is Cars the movie NASCAR? What sport would they say that is? Yeah, okay, so it is NASCAR. I thought so. Yeah, the only relevancy that it has is Cars.
Confusion and a sudden struggle to breathe before the body shuts down. That is what happened to him. Rescuers reached his car within moments, but he was unresponsive. He was rushed to Halifax Medical Center, where doctors tried to revive him. At 5:16 in the afternoon, the legendary NASCAR driver was pronounced gone. Millions of fans.
Is that legendary that he can't even name drop him?
Fans were left in disbelief, unable to accept that a driver who had seemed untouchable on the track was no longer alive. His crash led directly to sweeping safety changes in NASCAR, including.
Okay, so this is like the bit morbid for stream. No, not really. What was I gonna say? This is kind of the equivalent of Senna, I guess. Oh wait, that's the thing that I was on about. This neck brace that they got on the board by here. This is exactly what I was on about for the F1. So I'm guessing at the time the crash happened, they didn't have it, and then they brought it in after. So yeah, this crash me. Yeah, do you reckon that was for all motorsports or just for the NASCAR element of it? Because if other motorsports had it already, then this death was so avoidable, bro.
Including the mandatory use of the Hans device.
Like Bianchi in the Halo, yeah. That was like the real thing. They started designing the Halo after Senna's crash, I think, but then they really just pushed it after Bianchi died. They were just like did finishing touches and were like, yeah, okay. Because they weren't deaths for a while between Senna and Bianchi were. Yeah, well, I don't think it's that ugly actually. I think it's pretty slick. I mean, the old cars definitely look better. Yeah, that could put them off, to be honest. Because from a fan point of view, you want the cars to look nice, but then from like a driver point of view, and any kind of sane person, you don't want them to die, do you? So, you know what I mean?
To prevent head and neck injuries, redesigned car structures, and safer walls at tracks. At level 1, death came within seconds. Brief consciousness, then nothing. But what happens when those seconds stretch into hours? Level 2, trapped and aware. The medical student.
Oh, no. No, this is most definitely higher than level 2. This is like, you know when you go like caving, obviously I don't go caving, but like the people who go caving, they get stuck and they die. From like starvation and stuff. Or like, it wouldn't be from starvation, it would be from dehydration. Very close to closed cock. Yeah, and then that would have sort of ruined sort of open element of F1. So I understand why they couldn't really do that. By closed cockpit, do you mean with the windscreen, or do you mean like fully closed? Though I didn't like the design of the windscreen. I know Jacob liked it. I didn't really like it. But yeah, level 2. Yeah, like yeah. Wait, what does an IndyCar look like? They're rapid as well, IndyCars. Right. Oh, the windscreen. Yeah, I got you.
On November
Anyways,
20...
yeah, no, I think this should be higher than level 2. I mean, it depends what the other levels are, but okay, burning alive. Okay, yeah.
4th, 2009.
Yeah, okay,
A
this
26-year-old
could be classed as level 2, I suppose.
Nutty Putty Cave in Utah with his brother and several friends. He was an experienced caver with a wife.
I think I've heard of this. No, none of it will be told. It's animation.
Wife and young daughter. The cave system was known for its tight passages, but
yeah, that's what I was thinking. But then I just looked at the other the bookmarks of the video, and I'd say this is probably a fair place to be.
But he had navigated challenging spaces before. Around 8 in the evening, he...
I mean, you can reorder it. Just reorder it in chat after the video's done. Just to give your own insight on it.
Crawled headfirst into a narrow passage he thought would lead to a popular section called the Birth...
Can I just say, like, I don't understand how this is someone's element of fun. Like, this is horrible to me, and I know people are different, but what makes going into a tight cave that you might not ever get out of fun? That's just horrible. It's just stupid, honestly. Like, even if you're with people, there was an incident, I don't know where it was or when it was, but someone got stuck when he was with a group, and they were trying to push him through the hole so that he could keep on going rather than just pulling him back. He was like the second person that went or something. He was really stupid.
Canal. Instead, he entered an unmapped tunnel that angled sharply downward. The passage was 18 inches wide and 10 inches tall. As he pushed forward, the tunnel narrowed further. When he tried to back out, he couldn't. His arms were pinned at his sides. He was stuck.
So this is what I mean. Can you imagine the feeling of knowing like you're like, oh shit, I'm cooked? Like, you get that feeling in life as well, but not this severe, because you're like, oh no, I'm dead. You know? Where are the other people whilst he's doing this, though? Because at least then you'd have a bit of hope, but like, if you're on your own and this happens to you, you're like, yeah, I'm dead.
150 feet underground, suspended upside down at a 70-degree angle. Rescuers arrived.
All the blood would rush to his head as well now.
Within hours, they could hear him speaking. He was conscious, alert, and able to communicate. The problem was his position. Hanging inverted, gravity pulled blood into his head while his heart worked against itself to pump. His legs were above him. Every breath became more difficult as fluid accumulated in his lungs. Rescue teams worked...
Yeah, didn't they just leave him there?
Through the night, drilling anchor points and threading rope systems to try pulling him free. At one point, they managed to move him a few inches upward. Then a pulley system failed. He slipped back down into the crevice, deeper than before. For 28 hours, he remained trapped. He spoke with rescuers about his family. He asked them to tell his wife he loved her. He knew what was happening to his body. His heart couldn't sustain the inverted position. On November 25th, just before midnight, the 26-year-old medical student went into cardiac arrest. Rescuers were still working around him, but there was nothing more they could do. The cave was too narrow to retrieve his body. Nutty Putty Cave was sealed with concrete shortly after, becoming his permanent tomb. He had nearly a full day to understand his situation, to speak with people trying to save him, and to know that...
That's horrible, man. Just knowing that you're gonna die. Like, after a bit, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they probably could have done a better job than that. You don't know, though, because you weren't there, so you don't really know. I want to have a look at it. What did it actually look like? Okay, so it's like 2009. That is such an awful place to get stuck in. But did he not have, like... If he had a headlight on, could he not see that there was a dead end there? Like, what is the fun in this? Like, actually, what is the fun in that?
Death was approaching, but at least fire was...
You know, if you play, like, football or something and you score a goal, and then there's your, like, dopamine. Is your dopamine in this, like, moving an inch forward? or like knowing that you're not going to die. It's the adrenaline, I guess, but pretty stupid way to get it.
Wasn't involved. Level 3, burning alive.
This is what I was talking about, Tal. I'd say burning alive is probably worse.
The young slave woman. In the year 177, during the reign of Marcus Aurelius, Christians in the Roman
Yo, it goes so far back with this. It's gonna be like a lynching.
City of Lyon were arrested and brought to trial. Among them was a young slave woman. She was not a leader, not a teacher, simply a believer. Roman authorities demanded she renounce her faith. She refused. What followed was documented by witnesses and recorded in early church histories. She was taken to the amphitheater, where public executions served as entertainment. The crowd gathered, expecting a quick spectacle. They did not get one. Finally, the Romans brought out a brazen bull, a bronze statue shaped like a bull with a hollow interior. A fire was lit beneath it. She was placed inside. As the metal heated, it conducted...
She was placed inside the bull?
Public executions served as entertainment. The crowd gathered, expecting a quick spectacle. They did not get one. Finally, the Romans brought out a brazen bull, a bronze statue shaped like a bull with...
Oh! It's a statue. That is very good knowledge from you, Tal. Bro, molten metal. How hot is that? $3,000. Would you not die instantly though?
With a hollow
You just
interior.
die straight away.
A fire
no?
was lit beneath it. She was placed inside. As the metal heated, it conducted temperature directly into the chamber. The bronze glowed red. The air inside became superheated. Her skin blistered, then blackened. The heat consumed oxygen, making every breath an act of will. For hours, the torture continued. The crowd eventually grew silent.
Okay. So this isn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought she was actually going to be on fire. So now I'm thinking, would you rather this or the cave instant? That is what I'm thinking. She was literally put in the slow cooker. That's horrible. But this or nutty pie? Old gen air fryer, literally. She was air fried. Came out with like batter on her. Wait, what would you prefer, boys? Would you prefer the first one or no, the trapped one or this one? Like this or this?
The torture continued. The crowd eventually grew silent.
The molten bolt, yeah, it is quicker. It's quicker, but it's also going to be a lot more painful.
What had begun as entertainment became something else entirely. Even the Roman guards, men who had witnessed countless executions, reported...
That's true, these people got scammed. The people who went to watch it fully got scammed. Boy.
...being disturbed by how long she remained aware.
Yeah, the second one's slower. I said it took 28 hours. And that was after they came.
When she finally stopped moving, the Romans removed what remained. The young slave woman had endured one of the longest...
If you think about it, they didn't know how long the cave was down there. Unless they asked him. But surely his concept of time would be terrible. When he's poured upside down.
Recorded public executions in Roman history. She had been whipped, burned, gored, and roasted, remaining conscious through methods designed to inflict maximum suffering. Fire destroys from the outside in. But what if something consumed you piece by piece while you watched it happen? Level 4, devoured alive. The bear enthusiast.
Ooh.
For 13 consecutive summers, a wildlife enthusiast lived among grizzly bears in Alaska's Katmai National Park. He filmed them.
Okay, get burned or get ripped to shreds. Flip it out. Level 7. We'll see what level 7 is. I'm not gonna ruin it.
Spoke to them and believed he had formed a unique bond with the animals. By October 2003, he had spent over 35,000 hours in bear territory. That month, he and his girlfriend were camped near Kaflia Bay. The salmon run had ended. Most bears had moved inland to den for winter. The bears that remained were desperate, starving, and unpredictable. On October 5th, around 5 in the afternoon, a large male grizzly entered their campsite. What happened next was
I thought they were put off by fire. Oh no, it's not. The fire attracts bears. That's insane, actually.
Captured on audio. His video camera was recording, but the lens cap remained on. For 6 minutes, the tape rolled,
Oh my god, you could like hear him screaming. Because he would be screaming. He gets devoured. If that thing wasn't in the way, there would be a full video of a guy just being ripped up.
Documenting only sound. His screams filled the recording.
Yeah.
He yelled for his girlfriend to run, to get away, to save herself. But she didn't run. She grabbed a frying pan and tried to fight the bear.
Oh, hell no. What is she doing? Bro. What do you mean she tried to flip it? Why did she try to hit the bear? What an idiot. He's just asking to die. I guess if you love them, you wouldn't be able to just watch them get devoured. Yeah, 25 grams of protein. Yeah, my camera don't really focus. I'm gonna get a new one. But 25 grams of protein, Aldi, cowbell is chocolate. Very nice. Oh, they're £1.15, which is really good. I stock up on them and put them on my fridge. Yeah, you're good, bro. Tower, you gonna start coming gym? I think that'd be really fun actually to watch the progression. Anyways,
the audio.
What an idiot.
Reveals the reality of a grizzly attack. It is not quick. The bear did not
completely forgot to put the screen on. Sorry, lads. Cost too much. All right, buddy.
Strike once and leave. He remained conscious as the animal fed on him. His screams continued, becoming.
Oh, it's like the bear was purposefully just making him endure all the pain. Couldn't just like rip into his neck straight away.
Weaker, more desperate until.
Where do you think it started? Where would you start if you're a bear? Where would you start eating a person?
Finally, they stopped. Then the bear turned its attention to his girlfriend. Her screams began where his ended. When park rangers arrived the next day, they found both.
Arguably, being the park ranger in this situation is worse. Yes or no? Maybe not worse, but they had to live, and that is scarring as.
Bodies partially consumed. His head, right arm, and part of his torso were later recovered from the bear's stomach. The autopsy.
Yo. How did they find the bear? Yeah, their bodies are definitely traumatizing. There's people who like, they see them that often that they have they don't feel it anymore. It doesn't make a difference to them, and they just become insensitive to everything.
He confirmed both victims were alive during the initial attack. Bite marks on defensive wounds showed they had tried to protect themselves. The bear had not attacked out of predatory instinct in the traditional sense. It consumed him slowly, methodically, as he remained aware.
Yeah, the bear literally just did it for the love of the game, bro.
His girlfriend was forced to hear every moment before experiencing the same fate. The entire event, from first...
No, she was not. She was not forced. She was not forced whatsoever. Bro, she could have run away. How fast can bears run? Oh, why has it gone to AI? Don't mind the typo, boys. Oh my god, pal, that is horrid. Okay, wait. Oh, wait, yeah, nah. Even if she ran, she'd be cooked. Speeds of 35 to 40 in short sprints. Which would mean... And they can go 25 miles an hour for 2 hours, bro. That's like a car. That is insane. And they're heavy. Their stamina is insane.
Screamed of final silence, lasted approximately 6 minutes.
But no, she was not forced to sit there. She could have tried to run.
minutes. 6
She literally stood there and was like, yo, eat me next.
minutes of being eaten alive while conscious. Park rangers located and sent the responsible bear to the Shadow Realm.
How? How would they know? Just shoot all the bears in the woods and be like, yo, this one's got a head in it. Or this one's got flesh in it. How would they know? Yeah, no, I know. Bro, this was uploaded 8 hours ago and they're talking about a Shadow Realm.
Inside its digestive system, they found human remains still being processed.
Yeah, this guy got decapitated now.
Previous deaths, however brutal, had moments of chaos. The next level is methodical, mechanical, and utterly impossible to escape.
It's going to be...
5, crushed slowly. The 80-year-old farmer. In 1692...
No, he's 80 years old. No, man.
During the Salem witch trials, an 80-year-old farmer was accused of witchcraft. When brought before the court, he...
I thought, yeah, I know. How do they even have, like, a recollection of this 400 years ago? Yeah, literally hydraulic press. What? Why? I thought only women could be witches. I thought that was their thing. Oh, witchcraft, I suppose. Yeah, okay.
He refused to enter a plea. Without a plea of...
Yeah, people wrote it down, but they could write anything down. This is not... This might just be completely made up. There's, like, no proof of this.
Guilty or innocent, the trial could not proceed. Under English law, there was a solution for this problem.
Yeah, of course it's in London. This is definitely in London. 100%. Or Birmingham. Probably Birmingham.
It was called Pain Fort Adur. On September 19th, he was taken to an open field beside the Salem jail. He was stripped naked and forced to lie on the ground. A wooden board was placed across his chest.
Nah, trust. It wouldn't be in Manchester, bro. Trust me. We'd not be in Manchester. There's no the only witchcraft in Manchester is Bruno Fernandez's through balls, bro.
Then the pressing began. The process was designed to be gradual. Small rocks were added to the board.
This is a strange way to do it because if you had a plank put on you, would you not just like throw it away? It's not shy at pen, shut up.
One at a time.
Swear down, you haven't won a game in like 5. What was I saying? Would you not just push the plank off? Try fight?
The weight increased slowly, giving him multiple opportunities to enter a plea and stop the ordeal. He refused. More rocks were added. His chest began to compress. Breathing became difficult as the weight pressed down on his ribcage. The first day ended with significant weight.
The first day? Bro, this took days. This literally took days. Isn't he 80 years old? Surely he hasn't got the energy to keep that going.
On his chest, but he remained alive. He spent the night pinned beneath the board, unable to move, each breath a struggle.
Yeah, when everyone's gone. Yeah, I mean, it depends how heavy it was, though.
Next morning, the pressing resumed. More rocks were placed. His ribs began to crack under the pressure. The sound was audible to those standing nearby.
Oh my god, it's like an ASMR video of his ribs cracking.
Still, he would not speak except to say 2 words. More weight. On the third day, September...
Oh no, actually, I was going to say, yo, what? But I understand now that he would just want to die. Yeah, if he had like a 405 bench, he'd just throw it off in front of him. Then bro, he would definitely be accused of witchcraft then. Yeah, no, surely they would stop killing him because if he was a witch, he would just like magically teleport.
21st, the board held enough rocks that his chest was nearly flat against his spine. His ribs had broken in multiple places. His internal organs were being crushed. The pain was described by witnesses as beyond comprehension. Every breath required...
The pain was described by witnesses. Yeah, I don't think they felt the pain, so...
Forcing air into lungs that had no room to expand. And still, he remained conscious.
Oh yeah, he would be like mad hyperventilating.
According to accounts from that day, his tongue was pressed out of his mouth by the pressure. The sheriff pushed it back in
Yeah, he's a witch, innit?
With his cane. His final words, spoken with a crushed chest and broken ribs, were the same as before. More weight. Shortly after, the 80-year-old farmer was sent to the Shadow Realm. He had endured 7...
Why does he keep saying Shadow Realm? This is someone dying and he's like, he got sent to the Shadow Realm. No. He died.
72 hours of incremental crushing. His death was slow, calculated, and measured in the careful addition of stones over 3...
Do you think it was measured though, or they just find a rock? Find a rock, be like, yep, chuck it up. No. They were definitely not weighing each rock and being like, yeah, okay, so we're going to add 2 kilograms now. Bro, they'd just chuck on a rock.
Full days. He could see his executioners, breathe air, and speak his defiance. The next level removes all of that, trapped in darkness, underground, completely alone. Level 6, buried alive.
You know what this is similar to, though? This is similar to being trapped. Shadow realm being in the Bible. Wait, what? I'm confused.
Young mother. In 1891, a young mother lived in Pikeville, Kentucky. She fell ill with a mysterious sickness that swept through the region. Doctors at the time believed it was related to the tsetse fly. Though the exact diagnosis remained unclear, her symptoms progressed rapidly. Within days, she fell into a deep coma. Her breathing became so shallow it was nearly undetectable. Her pulse weakened to the point where physicians could not find it. On a warm afternoon in early May, she was declared gone. Her body was prepared for burial and
Yo, you edited the Biggie Riz video. How? Oh wait, what's it? Oh, it's a synonym for heaven. Surely that wouldn't be a synonym for heaven. That would be more like a synonym for hell. Because you think of it like heaven being bright. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, devoured is definitely worse. Well, I don't know.
placed in a wooden coffin. She was interred in a local
At least devoured is quick though.
cemetery within 24 hours, as was customary in that era before modern embalming. The coffin was lowered into the ground and covered with soil. Several weeks later, another person in Pikeville fell into a similar coma. This time, the patient woke up.
Oh, they were in comas and they started burying them because they thought they were dead. These are all really like old accounts, if you haven't noticed.
Then another case occurred, and another. The mysterious illness was not fatal. It induced a death-like state that could last for days, but victims eventually regained consciousness. The realization spread through the town like wildfire. If these people had woken up, then perhaps others had as well. Others who had already been buried. Her husband ordered her coffin exhumed immediately. When workers opened the grave and pried the lid from the coffin,
Yeah, she's alive.
they found her body face down. Her fingernails were torn completely off. The interior of the coffin lid was scratched and
Okay, she wasn't alive, but she tried to get out and then died.
splintered, with deep gouges carved into the wood. The silk lining had been shredded into strips. Her hands were bloody, her face frozen in an expression witnesses described as absolute terror. The evidence was unmistakable. She had woken up underground, alone, in complete darkness.
That would be so confusing as well. How long do you think it would take you to like realize that you've been buried?
Realized where she was. She had clawed at the coffin lid with enough force to destroy her fingernails and tear through fabric and wood. She had screamed, though no one could hear. She had fought until her oxygen ran out. The struggle had lasted hours, possibly longer, before she finally suffocated in the pitch-black silence of her own grave. Every level so far has ended.
How long do you think this took? $26.67. Oh, hell no. 5 to 6 hours. But then they'd panic, wouldn't they? So it'd be like probably about 4 hours. Could be as short as an hour. I mean, yeah, no, I know, bro. The search history. Can I just say, if this took 6 hours maximum of being buried alive, then surely the one on level 2 of being upside down in a cave for 28 hours and then you die is worse. No? Anyone agree with me there? I feel like that would be way worse.
Ended with the person being sent to the Shadow Realm. The final level removes even that mercy. Level 7, the absolute worst. The nuclear plant worker. On September.
Yep, I know about this. It's Chernobyl power plant station. Chernobyl power plant. And I know about it because my dad works in a factory.
September 30th, 1999, a 35-year-old worker was on duty at a nuclear fuel processing plant in Tokaimura, Japan. A criticality accident occurred when uranium reached critical mass.
Is it this one? Oh no. Oh, Chernobyl. Okay, never mind. Chernobyl was 1986. What am I on about?
He was standing directly next to the reaction. He absorbed 17 sieverts of radiation. For context, 10 sieverts is considered universally fatal. The radiation destroyed his DNA instantly. His chromosomes were photographed under microscopes and appeared completely shattered. At the
Would all of his hair just like fall off straight away?
cellular level, his body lost the ability to repair or replicate itself. He was brought to the University of Tokyo Hospital, where doctors understood immediately that he would not survive. But they kept him alive anyway.
No. Yeah, but the radiation takes off your hair. It kills all your cells, so would you not just drop dead and go bald straight away?
In the first week, his skin began to fall off in sheets. It would regenerate.
Wait, he was alive?
Anyway. In the first week, his skin began to fall off in sheets. It would regenerate, but improperly, then fall off again. The cycle repeated continuously. His intestinal lining, which regenerates every few days in a healthy person, could
so they started like experimenting on him.
Not repair itself. It shed constantly, making it impossible for his body to absorb nutrients or water. He was fed intravenously, but his veins began to collapse. By week 2, his immune system had completely failed. Infections covered his body. His lungs began to fill with fluid. He required a ventilator to breathe. Open wounds appeared.
Is he conscious in this, though? Because if he's not conscious in this, then I would say that this isn't the worst way.
Appeared across his skin where tissue.
Oh, he feels it. Yeah, okay. In that case, then yeah, I'd say that probably is.
Simply stopped holding together. He remained conscious through most of this.
If I just kept going for another 2 seconds. But yeah, I mean, if you're unconscious, then it's fine. But because you're conscious, you feel everything. That's awful.
Records show he communicated with staff, asking repeatedly for the suffering to end.
Yeah, that's horrible as well from their behalf, because they're just keeping him alive for an experiment, and he's going through all of this pain. That would never happen. Well, I don't know. These days, I feel like they'd keep him alive just because they kind of have to.
Said, "I can't take it anymore." Doctors resuscitated him 3 times when his heart stopped. Each time, they brought him.
They tried to bring him back. They did bring him back. He died 3 times. Many prison sentences for letting him die or for keeping him alive.
Documented his deterioration
And experimenting.
Though the images remain classified. Staff members who treated him reported psychological trauma. Several left.
Yeah, psychological trauma, but they didn't have to do it. Experimenting. Yeah, I agree with you. That's what I thought.
The medical field entirely.
Like, I feel like the experiment is keeping him alive, so.
For 83 days, the 35-year-old worker existed in a state where his body was simultaneously alive.
Wait, how long?
3 days reported psychological trauma. Several left the medical field entirely. For 83 days,
83 days. That's nearly 3 months of excruciating pain. Yeah, exceptions would definitely be made in this instance. I feel like it's not assisted dying. It's not assisted dying because if it was natural, then he would die anyway. They're not like, he's not in a natural state to the point where he's dying. He would die without all of this. And I think you can ask them to stop, but I don't know.
35-year-old worker
I think you can just say, let me die.
Existed in a state where his body was simultaneously alive and decomposing. Every form of
I just want to say, I'm enjoying this stream a lot more than yesterday's. Yesterday was good, but I don't know. Tell you're active, it's enjoyable.
From previous levels was present. Burning sensations from nerve damage, crushing pressure from fluid buildup, suffocation from lung failure, the feeling of being consumed as his body digested itself, and complete awareness throughout nearly all of it. On December 21st, 1999, after 2,000 hours of continuous cellular destruction, his body finally stopped functioning. His heart gave out for the final time, and doctors did not revive him again.
I bet they tried. I 100% bet you they tried to bring him back. Maybe they didn't, but they definitely tried to.
Want to see more videos like this, click the video on screen.
That was a good video.
Be sure to subscribe.
That was a very good video, actually.